And I'm John.
How's both doing?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
Aye, good. Nice we chilled out Sunday today. So, aye, all
You not
good.
leave the house?
I did. I went and picked up my mum's car for their house. So got
Still waiting on yours? It's been a long fucking wait,
um
this one, I know.
mate. Tell you, so it was due to be delivered this week. In fact, the week just passed, 25th.
Uh-huh.
So I emailed them on Tuesday to say I've not heard anything yet. What's the script?
Yeah.
And then I never heard from them at all. Logged into the wee customer portal on Friday. So right up from when I've ordered it till now, it's the wee messages said on order awaiting build slot, and it changed to on order build slot confirmed. Expected delivery date end of October.
No.
Oh, fucking raging! I'm like,
What are you doing about that? Can you do anything about that? You got any?
well, the benefits of working in the team that I'm in is we work closely with the reward folk here who deal
Yeah.
with the companies. So I'll have a word to see if anything
That's a
can be
long
done.
time,
But
to see.
because the thing is, the closer it got, the more I'm like, you notice not having a car. So you're thinking, well, only a couple more weeks to wait, and then like that says like it'll be any day now, and it's like fuck oh, end of October. So we'll need to see. So anyway, I've got my mum's car for now. That's what I did today. Went and
That's why
picked
you're
up,
there.
so it was good. Anyway,
And John's on the white wine. Is that what you're drinking?
Yeah, thank you for observing.
What kind?
white.
I couldn't tell you. I mean, it's white, obviously the colour, but it's
Aye.
something at Aldi.
But us
It's got
connoisseurs, like,
it's got a sort of mustardy coloured cap.
all right, no.
I
Mrs.
kid what you
I'm
mean.
meaning the grape or the region.
Oh, the grape. It's a Pinot Grigio from
All
California.
right,
The
nice.
brand is Barefoot.
Right.
Very good.
It's a gold medal winner in the 2021 Finger Lakes International Wine and Spirits Competition USA.
Other
Which
wines are
sounds a wee
available.
bit, aye, but that makes it sound a wee bit like the Super Bowl, like world champions of baseball. Did you just win a medal in the US?
Super Bowl's American football, remember?
Aye.
Aye.
I know it's the World Series in
That's fine.
baseball.
That's fine. I'm
Uh,
a big Mets fan now. So now that I went to a
Oh,
game,
right,
because he beat
okay.
a game.
aye, keep your eye.
Right, Chris said, evening, gents. Stevie said, evening all. Hope all is well. Feet up with the bangers in the darts final, the perfect Sunday. I want to say thanks to Stevie as well. Sent through some album prints for me as well. They're smashing, and a wee added bonus one as well. So thanks for that, Stevie. And if you want to put a link up to your stuff in the comments, feel free to do that. I would thoroughly recommend. Ronnie said, hi, guys. Lewis said, hi, guys. Me said, everyone, even everyone, anyone else worried they underestimated us and could hit us for 3 or 4 on Thursday. So, yeah, we'll talk about that in a wee minute.
Okay,
Sandy
straight in,
said,
eh?
eh?
Like no hanging about with the question.
Quite right. Sandy said, hello, good evening, and hope you're all well. Chris said, really looking forward to Thursday. Tough game, but a sold out Easter Road will see us through. Ronnie said, looks like nectar is slipping through the fingers. Kieran says, all right, boys. And what about Livy away? We should be okay. And me said his wages for Nectar are on according to papers, but surely they went up in May, not this weekend. And Steve is saying if used to on print as well, same offer applies to use. Right, Thursday night, John.
As in me, as in me, John. Does he mean?
As in you,
Right,
John.
okay.
Yeah. And I'll show you them after they're down the stairs. I'll show you them so you can see. Anyway, John, Thursday night. Tell me about your thoughts on the game.
I should really have been prepared for this, eh?
No,
Did you know
why
Ken
you
it was
start that
coming?
Do you know what? Sometimes like the questions just catch me off guard. Like I've obviously spoken to people about it in passing, like mates have messaged me about it, that kind of thing. There's part of me that thinks that we maybe gave them a wee bit too much respect. We obviously got the early goal. We started off like really well, first 10 minutes. But then afterwards, it was very defensive. Like we were trying to hit them on the counter attack. I don't think we were able to really get the ball out to Bowie or to make anything stick up front. So that obviously didn't allow the fullbacks or the midfielders to get forward and support. So it just kind of kept coming back. But what Hibs did do really well was they defended like fantastically. Like I think every player, like the whole squad, everyone that played was well drilled on how they were going to play, and they stuck exactly to that task. What I would say about Midtjylland is that there's part of me that thinks that they're not as good as we maybe thought they were. However, in counter to that, what I would say is that they were also very very disciplined in their approach to the game. Like they just kept coming at us and coming at us. It wasn't like overbearing pressure, but they just seemed to constantly have the ball and constantly seemed to be coming forward with very little relief for us. And I suppose like the counter to that as well is despite that relentless pressure, they didn't look like scoring. Like we restricted them to what I think there was one chance that went straight at Smith, and then sort of long range stuff. And of course, it was the one long ranger that was the one that hit the back of the net.
Good summary. Colin, what did you think of it?
I agree with most of that. I think I thought Bowie ran them ragged up there, like trying to be busy. Boyle looked quick again. I thought,
Yeah.
like again, he's always been quick. But you know how there was talk, he's got slower. I thought he looked quick the other night. I thought the defence done well. We felt like we were getting done down the right a lot. Not that it created anything, like John saying though, but they felt like they had more space down there for some reason. No matter if it was Cadden or Megwa that were out there. Just sort of getting to the byline stuff. Um, I think everybody's told us they're a good team, eh? Like they've been Champions League qualifiers or whatever they got last year. Did they get the Europa group as well?
Last year they were in the Champions League, I think. That's
right.
what David Gray called them, a Champions League team.
Aye, I know, but I thought they were. I thought they were in Europa League. I thought we had looked that up, and I thought maybe they were in the qualifiers and then dropped into Europa, then got out of the. I don't know. Like that's somebody will comment, no doubt. But and then we had, like Ian was on the phone and his mate, I gave him inside info on how much money they've spent on players. Not that was Ian, but he'd give us some inside info. Then other people telling us how much they spent. So I think they're just coming into pre-season as well. Maybe they are better than they were on Thursday night. Maybe we stopped them playing. Second half, certainly, I thought for second half, as soon as the second half started, we just sat right in, really deep. We're just hoping Bowie for 15 minutes could keep them busy, and then that we could just get out them long enough, fast enough for Boyle to get on the end of it after that. Didn't think we looked like we were going to try and create much at second half. I do think we might have. I agree with John. Like we might have overestimated them, but in a way, I didn't want to underestimate them on Thursday either, because I think it's one of them where we've got to go in with high hopes, and there'll be people. I know there's already folk booking flights to Oslo, right?
Aye.
For the next round, and it's one of them where you go, see if they come and get an early goal, place will go flat. You know what I mean? We've been there before for European games, and it just goes, that early, that away goal. I kind of count as a double, but you know what I mean? It just kind of dampens the place. So
it might not. It might not.
I think that'll happen this time.
I think given the experience, like if people remember the sort of experiences that we had last year, like particularly after the Aberdeen 3-3 game, that was when we had there were differences towards the end of the season where we were still getting late goals. We were going even the Ross County game, I think, where they opened the score and then we got back into the game and went on to win it. Like I wonder if there's maybe been like a small nudge in the way of optimism, so we might not have that kind of like down in the tools early doors.
Yep. Hope not.
I think we've got like experience even like I think of the 3-3 with Rangers when we were 2-0 down. The crowd stayed with the team that day, and I think if we didn't turn up, I think if it's a game like where we're just defending and we go a goal down early and we're not getting out of half, I totally agree with you, Colin. I think it'll be flat. But I think if the team give the crowd something to go on, I think we could probably stand to lose an early goal and still have the team getting rolled on for the stands. I think it's good that it's sold out. Like it's going to be packed. I think everybody's right up for it as well. Probably helped that all the images coming back for Denmark on Thursday and in fact from Wednesday night onwards, it looked like an absolute fucking blast through there. So there's like already a positive vibe coming into this game. John, I think their captain said after the game that they underestimated Hibs and didn't really realise how we were going to play. Given how we started, do you think that's probably the case?
That given how we started, given how we started,
they did. We started on the front foot. And we probably could have been a couple of goals up early on. Ball misses the header. I think another chance.
Yeah, I forgot about the header. Possibly, and it's such a weird thing. Like Scottish football gets a bad rap at times, but I don't think that we've spent anything like the same money as they have, but they obviously, sorry, I suggested previously, suffer from the same difficulties in attracting players because of the sort of geography of the region. In terms of like the really good players will be going to England, and possibly like the next best players will be going to the Championship in England. So you can see, I think, for their squad that they had a few players from around the world. I want to say that there was definitely a South American there. I want to say Ecuadorian, and I think I want to say Simsier was maybe Turkish. But
How would you say How would you say that? I would have said Ecuadorian. Is
That's
that right with you,
that's
John?
who I would have went for it as well. But
is that how I did? Are we picking each other up on?
I liked it.
We're going back to Kukovic, Kaharovic.
I like that. I like that. But I thought it was wrong.
But maybe
I
it's
don't know.
not.
It's wrong.
I've been wrong with my pronunciation of place names in the past. So underestimating us. Do you know what? I probably underestimated how we were going to come out. I think given the way that we finished the game and some of the chat before the game, I thought we were going to be up against it from the off. And I think those first 10 minutes might plant a seed of doubt in their mind about how Thursday's going to go. Like, because if you remember, like, is it Thomas Bergs, their coach? He was saying, "Oh, I expect us to win. Like, it's a foregone conclusion." And it's like, especially after the performance and getting that goal, it's far from it.
That's mental that you call your son Thomas, when your son name's Thomas Berg.
It's a Neville, isn't it?
Well,
That's what it was.
do you know any? I was at primary school with David Davidson.
There's
And I was like, did you know his surname when fucking he was born? Like
a kind of Ronaldson as well.
Does that no amount to like David, son of David, Ronald, son of Ronald, Thomas, son of
Aye, in
Thomas?
Iceland.
Ronnie said the guy's Chilean, John. And
Chilean.
after
How you
all,
going to say that? Chilean? No, how would you?
Chilean.
Chilean.
It's all about the accents.
Stevie said that a Robert Robertson at school.
Yeah.
And Alice says
like
Tommy never gets lost. Colin, what do you think to start with me? This is, I think I showed a team coming out totally motivated and clued up to what the game plan is.
Yeah, it was good. My observation with them was they see it full time. I was watching on TV. They looked stunned or shell shocked or whatever word you want to use. The players, when they were going to their fans,
Yeah,
it was almost like, what the fuck happened there? That's how I thought their body language and their reaction looked. Which I don't know if it's a good thing or not, because then they'll be thinking, this is going to be a hard game, and maybe they'll up it, or maybe they'll be thinking, fuck, this is going to be a hard game. I can't be understand that again. So we'll soon find out. I just think we might be underestimating them a wee bit going into the second leg. Anyway, but it was good. It was clear they had. I mean, folk were worried about Bolton game last week. We were on here last weekend, and how poor we were against Bolton and all that. I think that showed that you can't really be seasoned to the matter of fuck. It's about players running about, and you don't know what training load they've had before it, and then they maybe had to play that game because it was a contractual thing.
Yeah.
And needed minutes. It wasn't about performance. Whereas Thursday was, and we got a good performance and we got a good result.
Gray, Colin, on that subject, Gray, after the game talked about the benefit, and it's something we I think we actually shared it on one of the YouTube shorts that we put clipping for the show last week. Gray talked about the benefit of playing a really high standard opposition through pre-season and no worrying so much about the results in those games, but getting used to the different ways of playing, and that showed the benefit, I guess.
Well, I suppose potentially, it's maybe gave us maybe we selected those games to give us different problems and things to practice on for the tough games coming. Because I've suggested obviously the League Cup because it's competitive, but then actually it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be competitive, right? And you see a lot of the results this year, it's not been. But maybe it's worthwhile trying, playing against better players and chasing them a bit, because that's what you're going to have to do in the European games.
And John, we played in some very hot temperatures as well on the training, through pre-season. That probably stood us in good stead for a Thursday night in Denmark, because it looked like the conditions were getting to the players as the game wore on as well.
I can't remember the temperatures that were being reported, but I want to say it was like 26
It was
upwards.
hot. Yeah.
I can't remember any water breaks in the stadium, but it looked like it was bathed in sunshine. And I'd imagine that with the way these places work, it gets a lot hotter down on the grass. So I know definitely. And if it's been, I mean, you couldn't say that playing in hot temperatures has been a deliberate strategy because it's summer. Like that's when it's close season. That's when you're getting prepped for the new one. However, it seems like there might have been a bit of thought put into the opposition that would be playing pre-season.
One of the things Colin we spoke about on the phone in on Thursday night was about David Gray and his influence on the team. Now, obviously, you'd expect him to have an influence because that's his job, as Roy Keane would say. This was his first taste of European football as head coach. What would your assessment be of his first goal?
Pretty good. You asking me for marks out of 15 on it, or
You can give marks out of 15 for it, yeah.
you've got to say it'd be like a 11 or a 12, probably 11 and a half. Allowed half marks.
Nah, no half marks. Get the rules.
Because, I mean, we never got the win, but I mean, that, like, everybody, I think we had all assumed we were losing there. I think the other night it was almost like, can we keep the score down to give us a chance going into the second leg? Because we could have came away with a win,
Yeah.
in effect. But a draw, I think we would have all taken a draw before the game. I can't remember what I predicted last week. I know John predicted a loss. Did we say draws? We might have
I
said
think you both
that would
went
have
one
been us
each.
that would have been us being optimistic though.
I think it was a foolishly optimistic, well, a seemingly foolishly optimistic, but in hindsight, very, very wise prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Is that you pissing on my
100% concrete
pessimism?
evidence that we came up with talking about. And if anybody ever challenges again, that's what we can say. Well, we do know. We got one right once. John, what do you think about David Gray? What does that performance following on the back of the season that we had last season tell us about Gray?
Good question. I think it probably suggests that he's still going down that horses for courses route. Like he didn't fuck about with the starting 11 too much. It was kind of clearly identifiable who was playing and where they would be playing, and I think he's probably still sticking to what he knows and still kind of not working things out as he goes, but he's not experimenting in places where there's no room to experiment. Like that was obviously a very difficult game, and he's gone out. And then, do you know what I was going to say? He's gone out, and him and the team have had a game plan, and the team have executed it on his behalf. So I think what if we've learned anything is that he's still got a really strong influence in the dressing room.
Yeah, that seems fair. Colin, one of the concerns that came out for the Bolton game last weekend was the midfield three. McGrath, Mulligan, and Levitt. Now, all three, obviously, McGrath scores the goal, but Mulligan and Levitt had very influential roles in the game as well. What did you think of how they set up as a three and how they did?
I thought it looked pretty good. I mean, it was obviously they weren't trying to attack too much. So, but defensively, Levitt was good. He was keeping hold of the ball. There was a couple of passes he could have been a bit more careful with, but I thought in the main, like he was pretty good in there, slowing it down and making sure we weren't losing the ball. The other two done their job, but it's kind of the job they were asked to do, rather than their job, because I think their job in the normal run of the mill they'll be getting forward a lot more. And I don't think they were asked to, I think it was pretty much make sure we keep the ball, we win it back, we're compact and we're tight. And they've done that. I think it was good. I think that's just because folk are panicking about the Giannis thing more than anything else, because
You think so?
it's 2 year new signings that everybody was delighted about. They thought, brilliant, great signings. Well, why would we not be playing them? And Levitt, who was a late run for no player of the year, well, probably a late run for player of the year, by about February onwards last year.
John,
So why would we be concerned about that midfield?
Aye. What do you think of the emergence of Levitt and that sort of, level of influence in the team, John?
I'm delighted as the champion of the underdog. I think I think there's stuff about players sometimes where it's like maybe the wrong team, the wrong coaching setup, the wrong players around them. Like I think anyone that plays professional football, broadly speaking, and anyone that comes to Hibs, you want them to do well. So that whether it's Tavares, Venti, Levitt in this instance, like, and I think sometimes when you see players that are just sort of like completely cast aside, it's like he's fucking shite. Never want to see him in a Hibs jersey again. Well, actually, no, I'm kind of the opposite. I want to see them succeed because if they succeed, then we succeed. Um, and the emergency Levitt has been really, I would say, really pleasing because there's been a player in there like all along. And I don't know whether it's like confidence, like settling down, like, and I mean like I don't mean just like him settling down. I mean like the club settling down, like everything that was going on around it.
Yeah.
He's now like he came in as like a sort of like as a backup from like February onwards, I think, with Newell getting injured. And he had some really influential performances. And I think he got to see quite an influential performance on Thursday there. Like what I was going to suggest before about Mulligan and McGrath is that it can be quite hard in certain games when you're asked to perform a certain way or do certain jobs. It can be quite difficult for them to stand out. But I think Levitt stood out because of that aspect that Colin referred to about just kind of calming the game down, like finding a pass. Like it might have just been like 2 or 3 yards,
Yeah.
but he has that vision. He's got that touch to just kind of relieve things and move the ball around.
Yep.
Kieran on the chat says the only worry about Levitt is he's only finished a handful of games in the last year. Needs to have him playing 90 minutes regularly. So it was something that I think Joe mentioned on the phone in that initially Levitt was only getting 60 minutes, but it was starting to finish games later on. Calling it's less important now, I think, for like any player to be able to finish 90 the way that, since the 5 subs came in, and we spoke about it before about the starters and finishers. I think Levitt just needs to do a good job for the time that he's on the pitch, and then hope the person that comes on after him is
That's
good.
right. I mean, that even goes back to the one of the things that Monty said that I actually got on board with was when he was talking about, was it Venti? Because he was always getting hooked, mind.
Aye.
When it was, I've got subs to come on, go and get burst yourself in 60, 70 minutes, and we'll change you.
Aye.
We don't want players to try and sort of pace themselves over the 90 minutes. Just go and fucking go flat out, and we'll change you if you're knackered. What's the harm? What's the harm in that?
On that subject of subs, Colin, I'll stay with you just now. We've obviously shifted the full 5 subs. So we saw Clegy come on, we saw Mane, Megwa, Hoylett. Who was the other one that came on?
Campbell came on
Campbell.
first.
Aye. How do you think the subs did?
We never lost. I can't remember any real impact in them. Campbell ran a bit, obviously. That's what he went brought on for. I can't remember much impact on the others, to be honest with you. I was a bit surprised Megwa came on.
Mhm.
So I thought he was further out of the picture than that. But I thought he'd done okay. I thought they were done right, I think. And by that time, we were just sitting in. We were trying not to lose the game. As I say, for about 46 minutes, I felt we just sat in. And when we started bringing them on, must have been 60 minutes that Campbell came on for Bowie-ish, from memory. And I think it was just about, they were never going to stand out. You know what I mean? Unless you're like a centre half coming and winning all the headers, you're not going to notice them. They're just in there making it difficult for them to do anything. So it's really hard to stand out. So I think they've all done their job. I don't think we can complain about any of them, really.
Aye, and John, on that note, would you have said any of them made a claim for a starting spot on Thursday?
I really don't know. Yeah, it's again like it's quite hard to say because of like what Colin was saying there. So like certain players have got, oh sorry, certain players have got certain strengths and attributes. So it'll be up to Gray, I think, to decide whether he wants to start the game that way or kind of let the game develop. So like to the Levitt point, like I think one of the things that we maybe saw last season is that there were opportunities when the players had burst themselves over the first like 60 minutes, say that there were opportunities to change it and then really go and chase the game with those fresh legs. So I'm going to say no, but only from the perspective that I imagine that the team that starts on Thursday will be the same team that starts last Thursday, and maybe look to bring those players on later to try and impact the game. I mean, it might depend on the circumstances whether we're ahead or not.
So on the subject of team selection, Colin, we probably two positions that I think are worth discussing just to get a thought where there is like sort of solid competition for places. So goalkeeper, Smith got the nod. Happy with that and think he keeps his place?
Yes and yes. I've not seen enough of I've not seen any of the other guy, right? So I've no idea. But if Grace thinks that Smith's still number one, happy to go with that. I thought he looked fairly commanding at times. He was coming for crosses and he made a good save for the one that, well, straight at him. But it was kind of, he got these reactions there. I wasn't that happy with the goal we let in. I know loads of folk are saying, I'm not blaming the goalie fully, like, because I think there's a lot of, we lost the ball quite high up the pitch. Iredale was really lazy with a foul on the edge of the box in case sort of it just looked lazy, the wrong leg, or just dangled the leg, boy fell over him. Then half the wall jumped and half didn't, and the half that didn't was the one that went over, and I thought it just went middle of the goal, and I thought not middle of the goal, but height wise,
horizontally rather than.
Aye, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like a good height for a goalie, sort of height, like penalties. I just watched the England women penalties there, and you think goalie saving them all, and they're all at a good height for the goalie. And why are they just going really low or really high? So the boy took it well, went over a wall that didn't jump on that side, and the goalie didn't get across. It is the wall side though, but I don't know. I wasn't. I thought we could have done better at the goal for various, like, for the whole length of the pitch, as I say, like, because I'm sure I can't remember who it was, but somebody was farting about at the top end and they lost the ball. Iredale's lazy free kick and then the wall didn't jump, and the keeper didn't then get across. But I wouldn't say that's enough to drop him. Like,
John, what did you think of the goal we conceded?
I thought it was a good strike. It was a good strike for distance, but I didn't appreciate some of the detail that Colin described there. But like, it seemed all right. It seemed like the boy's got that in his locker. It was probably a good height for Smith. I made a joke at the time that Salinger being a bit taller probably would have got around to it. I think it's that stupid football thing where they probably deserve the goal for their efforts. So I'm not too upset about it, albeit with the caveats that Colin described. Like, we didn't have to concede it.
Mm-hmm.
If you know you've got a guy that's good at free kicks, right? Why are you giving free kicks away there?
Well, there you go.
Kind of the funny thing with that, though, watching it live, because they were breaking, we'd committed men forward, they were breaking, and they came sort of straight through the middle. And when Iredale brought the boy down, I was like, oh, that's fine, take that. Like, it's one of those.
I didn't know. As soon as it happened, I went, oh, fuck.
And I thought it was a good free kick to give away because the boy's doing a shot.
What was he, 20 odd, 25 yards? Wasn't even 25 yards. It was, it needs to be 5-10 yards further back for it to do a foul like that.
Lewis Forford, who does the sort of the like alternative camera angles. If you look on Hibs YouTube, they have the video called The Game. And I always love these. They're brilliantly shot, but there's a great shot of the free kick from behind the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
And when you watch it, I think the ball does jump, not especially high, but I'm not convinced they would have got it anyway. The ball kind of was up and dipped, and I don't think Smith could do anything with it. I think it's just a good free kick.
I thought the ball was jumped on one side. It was like a low side, or maybe everybody was taller on that side.
Maybe.
And it looked like it was, as much as they jumped, one side looked like it went higher than the other. And the one the ball came over was the one that was on the
it's definitely worth having a look at those highlights for Lewis's footage of it. Excellent footage. You maybe would have a different view. I was less annoyed about it seeing it from that angle than I was at the time. Not that I was particularly annoyed about it. I just thought it looked like a good free kick. But I wasn't upset with Iredale. I thought he made the right decision to foul the boy, and then you go and defend the free kick.
Just looked lazy, and I like Iredale. Like him, I just thought it looked like I'd be annoyed at that if it was my lasses team.
Second position that was up for grabs, John. I'll get your thoughts. It was Abita getting the nod ahead of Naden. What are your thoughts there?
think when we talked about it beforehand, I think we were all in agreement that Beta probably offered more defensively, and I think given that we played more defensively, it made sense for a Beta to start. However, that might be different on Thursday, and again, that might be one of the substitutions that I referred to earlier, like the lineup tweaks, where we say, right, well, we've went defensive, now we're going to go and put Nadden on to try and get more balls into the box. But and that might be, I don't know if we'll start that way. That might be something that we do later on if the game's still narrow and there to be won. Because I think I don't know. Do we want balls from out wide going in for Bowie? There was a lot of success last year with Dwight Gale in there, but I don't know. You probably want to utilize Bowie's height and not just use him as like a target man. But like Colin mentioned earlier, that he did occupy the Midtjylland defence and he did that really well. But I think we want to try and exploit him more, get the ball into feet more, get the ball into the box more. So that might come from using Nadden later in the game.
Fair enough, Colin. You're getting a lot of folk agreeing it's a lazy foul.
Good.
Ara saying the beat is more about him defensively and can still go forward. The back five, like if you include the two full backs or wing backs, whatever they are, did a great night. Really, like in terms of defending the box, it was probably the strongest performance I can remember us doing with like winning the first ball in the box and sometimes the second ball as well, where we just were first to everything. John, is it going to be more important on Thursday night that we're not defending as deep and we're winning those first balls sort of maybe 10, 15 yards further up the pitch?
I think we can still defend deep. We just need to have that out ball that relieves the pressure and then makes a more positive use of the amount of running that we were doing. Because if all the running that we're doing is in a defensive capacity, then you're really limiting yourself and you're just looking to try and snatch a lucky goal at the other end. But if you can start to turn that on its head, you can, because we can clearly do the defensive work. What we now need to do is get that transition and start moving up the pitch again.
Colin, you mentioned Kieran Bowie earlier, and John, you mentioned about us wanting to get balls in for him. He had a really sort of thankless task on Thursday night, doing a lot of defending, but also trying to hold the ball up as well. Maybe a side of him that we haven't seen quite so much of domestically. But how well do you think he performed that role, Colin?
I thought he done really well. I thought he looked strong. He looked perfect. The defenders were having a hard game against them. So I thought it was good because we've seen him score goals and we've seen him run and give like in a more attacking way. You know, he brushed Carter Vickers off in his first game for us with his power. But this was different, sort of back to goal, sort of deeper towards the halfway line. I thought he done well. Quite impressed.
John, what were your thoughts on Bowie or Bowie?
I like him. It's really it's really good to see the player who had such a shit start to his time at Hibs in terms of the injury, like so soon after he's joining. He had a really good end to last season. You know, Hibs obviously took their time in getting him back to full fitness. Didn't rush him, didn't take any chances. So hopefully we get to see more of that, like continuing to this season, because he's a real, like I don't remember the last time we had a striker like him that properly, like he really gets stuck in. Like there was one challenge I think he was involved in where he's won the foul, but he's proper grappling, like he's backing into the boy. The arms are kind of round, like trying to jockey him, trying to get the turn the ball. He's a proper handful, and I think he's got the potential to score a lot of goals for us and be really instrumental in some key games.
He reminds me a bit of Grant Holt, that physical side to his game. Obviously, Holt was a bigger unit than Bowie. Kieran Gallagher said, do you think Bowie needs to be a bit better bringing players into the game, not being overly critical? Colin, would you think could he do better at holding up and keeping the move going rather than winning the free kicks?
Well, I suppose he could do it more often, but maybe I don't know what the game plan was. I thought it was like get up there, be a nuisance, and win the free kick, slows the game down, and make him maybe dink one in with the box rather than try and be free flowing. I don't know what the actual tactics were, but it looked like that to me. We were trying to be physical and do it that way.
I think the issue that he has with a game like Thursdays is that he doesn't have the players bombing out to support him. Like the team were quite slow a lot of time to get forward to back up the front two because we were having to defend so deep.
Mm.
All right, we'll preview the Thursday night's one on extra time tomorrow. So if you're a subscriber and you can subscribe on Patreon or here on YouTube, you'll get that. It'll be a subscriber exclusive one, so they're like a proper half-hour preview on it. And our actual domestic preview shows will be back on Friday, where we'll look ahead to the Dundee game. Well, might do that on Saturday to kind of use our fix. Was that we'll sort it out after. I'm just thinking game on Thursday. We'll probably do the phone in on Friday, so we'll maybe do the preview on Saturday. We'll see what you two think. Before we kind of go into that, then just to wrap up on Thursday night past, Andrew made the point that we should have been 2-0 up before they scored. So I think their goal came just on the back of a good break. They broke down with Mulligan, just no finding Campbell with a pass, and Campbell would have been in a great position for it. Boyles had a goal disallowed just before half time where I think he was offside. I don't think there was any doubt about it. But we could have drawn that. We definitely had chances to take more than one goal back to Easter Road, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the specifics. Obviously, you mentioned the header at the start of the game. McGrath scored, and we've had the ball in the back of the net. I don't remember much in the way of chances apart from that.
Yeah, they are.
But like that can be the difference, like, can it? Like it might have, like, if we'd scored all of them and all other factors being equal, so Simsy scoring his free kick, that's 3-1 us.
Mhm.
It's just that, and that's the fine margins of football sometimes.
I
Like,
thought the
obviously
offside. I'm sorry, Sean.
I was just going to say, like, the offside one was offside.
I thought it was a bit closer than like because so it looked offside, right,
Uh-huh.
on the TV, but when you sometimes you get a line on, the line's on, and it's because of the depth of the depth perception or whatever. It's like I think it was probably closer than we maybe think. I think he was off, but I think it was like miles off.
No, it wasn't miles. I thought you could tell without the lines though that it was off. I think
I always think
drawn
that,
on.
and then I see the lines and go, "Fuck, that was closer than I thought."
Aye, that's fair. But I think VAR was in operation. I think we established that on the WhatsApp through it. That it never really was spoken about because the referees got missed it right.
Aye, he never put the lines up on the screen or anything, so you weren't really aware. Obviously, they had the watch on for our goal.
Aye,
For the goal line. Which in our goal?
it's a good question. I was going to say we should probably have spoken about it. I think it's a great goal. I think totally on purpose. I think it's like a deliberate near post shot as well. I thought it was brilliant from McGrath. What did
Goalie's
you
made a
think?
fucking mess of it.
Goalies should do better, but
Aye.
I think everybody's set for the cross. I think
Mhm.
even McGrath's body shape's set for the cross until the last minute. Like
Aye.
it's just a brilliant finish.
Aye, but the goalie should be doing much better. Like it was almost like mind we lost goals when it was Simon Brown and then Andy McNeil lost
Andy
goals
McNeil
to Charlie
definitely.
Adam,
Aye.
almost identical to them.
Yep.
And everybody still talks Simon Brown as if he was as bad as Zibby because of it.
Aye. John, what do you
And
think?
so
Good
that's
finish
what
for
I'd be
Shea
thinking
goalie
about.
or both?
It could be
Can't be
both.
both. Aye.
It can't. Aye. So if you think back to, like, I forget who the goalkeeper was. Was it who was in goals when Charlie Adams scored, like, the really quick free kick against us? Was it
That was
McNeil?
McNeil. I'm sure it was McNeil done it twice. Was it the same game or like consecutive games?
I want to say that there was 2 free kicks in one game, but
Aye, there
I might
was.
be misremembering.
That might be Simon Brown.
I'm sure Tavernier did have a Marciano at Ibrox as well. I think it was Marciano with one similar.
Yeah. It could be both. Like, it could be that McGrath spotted that the keeper's paying attention. He's maybe a wee bit too central, whatever the factor, and he's just thought, well, fuck it, I'm gonna have a crack at it. And it's just, the stars have aligned, and the keeper's not been able to get back in time. Because I think, as a goalkeeper, you probably wouldn't imagine that the player over the free kick is going to be striking it for there. But then if the player's got that quality, like, and this might be that underestimated point that you made earlier, like, they've maybe underestimated who's going to be taking the free kicks or not been knowledgeable of their capabilities in a dead ball situation.
I said VAR was, and it came up on the big screen. So there you go. Ray said the only thing I wanted more of on Thursday was composure. It seemed every time we got into good attacking positions, we rushed the decision making and made poor decisions. I think that's particularly as the game went on, and I don't know if that's just symptomatic of that sort of mental fatigue, because the concentration levels for the players were immense. I thought, like, for 90 minutes to defend the way that we did. Colin, you played sport to a good level. When you're in a game like that, does it become harder to make good decisions as the game goes on?
Well, I think when you get tired, like I don't think that's you need to have played. That's just common sense, really. Like the more tired you get, the more likely you are to make a mistake or make the wrong choice. So I would say that's why guys are elite sportsmen, because they make less mistakes. But our guys and their guys aren't quite elite yet. Well, they're elite, right? They're better than fucking any of us by a country mile, but they're not at the top level, and that's the difference between these guys, really. How many mistakes they make, or what their decision making is like.
Aye. Andrew pointed Stevie Mallon's goal in Europe as well. Luke was another one that caught the keeper out. Who did he sign for? Is it St Johnstone?
St Johnstone,
aye. Well,
Up
you see,
place
I
to
think
go.
we're talking about just going off on a wee tangent. Ex-Hibs players, Chris Mueller was in the news as well. Like they found a heart condition. So,
Oh shit!
all the best to you, Chris, and your recovery. And his old man used to listen. I don't know if he's still listening.
Just gonna say.
I thought it was going to be like Florida Man, something was going to be the punchline.
That's just I think one of these ones that the monitoring in pre-season picks up. I think so. Best
I
of luck
didn't know
recovery,
that.
Chris.
Aye, all the best.
Right, let's get your thoughts on Thursday night then, just briefly. Like I say, we will kind of preview it properly on extra time. John, how do you rate our chances of going through?
Maybe 60%. I think we've given ourselves a real chance, keeping the scores tight, and with what we saw about the commitment to executing the game plan that they had in mind. If David Gray and the team have a similar approach on Thursday, we've got a really, really good chance of upsetting the odds.
Aye, and Colin, David Gray was like he went to lengths to try to say as much in his post-match interview that it was only half the job done, and there's still like a long way to go before the game's over, or before the game's won. What do you reckon our chances are like?
I agree with John. I think what we don't, as fans on Thursday night, we shouldn't be impatient. Like if it's 0-0 at half time, that's still good. Like
Yeah.
we've got plenty of time. We didn't need to go chasing anything. As soon as you go chasing, they are a decent side. They will pick us off. So let's not like go. It would be good to get an early goal, right? But let's not go chasing it. If it's 0-0 at half time, then he start booing and then he start complaining.
Aye.
Well, we're still in a great chance.
And this is the thing, like it'll go extra time and penalties if it needs to. Like we could be in for a long night, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. If we take it the distance, you want everybody to be right behind them. Sold out Easter Road though, John. I think there's only I've seen conflicting information whether it was like anywhere between 80 and 200 Midtjylland fans coming through, which means the rest of the stadium's going to be packed out with Hibs fans. You looking forward to like a really big atmosphere? Is it potential to be the next 80k?
Do you know what? I am really looking forward to it, but I'm not going to be there because I've got parental duties again.
Babysitting.
So babysitting. I'll be in the house, unfortunately. But I know it should be good. Do you know, I missed the Luzerne game for other reasons as well. And it's a real, I'm going to say it's a real sticking point. Like it's unavoidable. Like the parental duties are the parental duties. I'm not saying it's like a sticking
Happens,
point in that sense. Like life sometimes gets in the way. But hopefully, because I never made the Luzerne game and I'm not making this game, that's maybe a wee, I don't know, like
Omen.
the anti-Jonah kind of. Aye, an omen.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm trying to say. Aye. And if Hibs go through, then I can't go to the next game either because obviously I'm the Jonah.
Aye, well, that's it. We need to carry on all the way to the final. I put my place to the final already.
So, hi, I'm buzzing for it. I think it's going to be a cracking night. So Ara's confirming it. The Kieran Power confirmed it's 200 plus away fans. And in Denmark, the locals were saying they had 280 coming. So a huge Hib support. It will be the biggest attendance in Edinburgh this season already. Before a ball's kicked in the league season, that's sewn up. Easter Road will have the biggest crowd. Sorted. It's just a kind of attendance FC were getting excited about their friendlies just so they can, like competitive football trumps it. Doesn't matter what you do this season, we'll have the biggest crowd. I can you get stoners about that. We then we'll just get on with being in Europe. So right, the talking of Diddy Cups and that Premier League Cup, Premier Sports Cup draw was done earlier on today. We've got Livingston away. Colin, it's a tough place to go.
It's a hard place to go. It is. I see they've relayed the pitch though, so
New
sort of
plastic.
different Astro.
Ken, what would be brilliant if it was like in the air hockey game that you get at the Mega Bowl. If it was like that,
air jets underneath.
Fucking hell, you've just jumped back to 1990 fucking 3.
And it looks like grass. It's just like
isn't it an easy draw? I don't know. Like, you know what? I only know we've drawn them, and I seen it in a chat. I've not even looked at the other draws. Who all got put out? Who all made it through? But to be seeded and get that draw is a bit shite. Like,
aye,
because that is a place we go to and didn't get very good results and make excuses about the surface.
So I think with other ties, where Celtic were at home to Falkirk, Rangers are at home, obviously, to Alloa.
Aye, seeding's working there then, eh?
Aye, Hearts go to St Mirren.
Well, that's not an easy one. Hard place to go.
I think St Johnstone and Motherwell might be playing each other.
Tough places to go.
But I don't know where. St Johnstone started quite well in the. They're not talking about winning everything. They've just had a good Premier League sports campaign. They're not talking about winning leagues and fucking walking everything or computers. They're just getting on with it.
Or the bookmarks. I've got a few bookmarks in there already. Good. I don't know if you've noticed. Aye. What a difference in 12 months. That was one
Unreal.
of them. Yeah.
So saying you couldn't find one of them fucking for ages last season, couldn't find one of them until. Aye. Anyway, they're fucking all over the place now. Insufferable. John, what did you think of the draw?
Fucking boo. Do you know what? Livy is the closest stadium to me. Can't be arse going. It actually depresses me. However, the Livy Inn is a really good place to meet up with mates, Hibs supporters, podcast listeners, sometimes all of the above, for drinks, for food, and then for a wee wander along at the game. I can't remember the last time I saw Hibs win there. It might have actually been when Stevie Malin. That's not to say that Hibs haven't won since then. Just I think the last game that I saw Hibs win there was maybe when Stevie Malin was playing and scored. It's just shit.
How did Hearts and St Mirren get each other? Was one of them who was seeded? But they were both being seeded.
Aye, Hearts were seeded.
Hearts were seeded and St Mirren, right? That's a tough draw. Like, that's a shite one. If you're the seeded team and you go away to a team that finished about 5 places above you in the league.
Aye,
last season or whatever it was.
Tough place to go.
Aye, and Aberdeen away to Morton as well. I've just checked that up. There's some tough draws in there, like some hard places to go.
I always think like Livy's one of these venues. Like I tend to always go to Livy. It's an easy away game to get to. It's just along the motorway in it, and then you're in. But it's always shite, and hopefully the new pitch makes a difference because I don't think I've seen a good game there. And all the times that I've been, I can't mind seeing a game you come away going, that was a fucking right good game today. It's games we've won, games we've lost, and all of them have been a fucking slog. So.
I don't know if that's to do with the pitch though, or if it's to do with how they set up.
I think it's both. The pitch doesn't help because it's not even when you watch a game on the telly, like with Celtic or Rangers or whoever are there. The only time I've really, really enjoyed watching them was mind the Scudded Hearts 5-1.
Hi, Christmas
5-0. Like Levine was in charge. It might be one of his last games. That was good. Like, but that was good because it was funny. I can't remember if it was actually a good game of football. It was just funny.
The games there, it always feels like a narrow loss, or we've a few times we've become away with like a 4-0 win or 4-1 win. But other than that, it's always like making excuses about how it's a hard place to go.
How the pitch is shite and all
I
that.
want to hear any excuses about it being a hard place to go this year.
Nah, but I don't think. Funnily enough, I don't think we're that team. I think David Gray would have it. Like I think
That's what I'm
he's.
hoping for.
Aye, we'll see. It's funny. I was having I won't mention who, but like in our DMs on Twitter, we're having a bit of conversation about David Gray and coming into the new season and how good it is to be optimistic about the season and thinking that you've got the right guy in charge. And obviously, there's a history of clubs doing well one season in Scotland, getting third, getting Europe, and then the manager being away by Christmas the next season because things have bombed. Watching us on Thursday night and hearing Gray after it, I can't see any way that I kind of like just fucking touch wood and all the rest of it. You could jinx it, but it's not going to happen this time, Colin, is it? Like we've got a good manager in David Gray, haven't we?
I think so. But if he's away by Christmas, it's because somebody bigs came and took him. I think rather than because we've got rid. I think he would get longer than that. Like even if we went on a bad run, like he did last year, I think they'd give him that opportunity again because he's proved he can turn it around.
This John, we launched an "I Love Dave" T-shirt to commemorate him. It's this is our opportunity. Like if we have a good season now, he just cements his legendary status, doesn't he?
Aye. It's what he does. Like I get what you're saying about the like if he has another good season, but like when you're like the thing that I'm hoping for is a trophy, and then it's like he's a deity at that point. He's not even a legend. So you're right. He can cement his legend status by having a good season, but I think humbly, like himself, he's aiming for a bit more.
Aye, I would agree. The last year, obviously, the cup runs were duds because we got Celtic away in both of them. We've avoided that this time, Colin. So the expectation was Hampden in this cup at least.
Well, yes, it would be the hope. But again, this is what's at the last 16. So there's still a round before that you could still be away to Celtic. You know what I mean?
Aye.
But you hope to avoid that. And that's not to say we can't go there and get the result either. Like they've seen they've got the ability to defend now. But yes, it would be to get to Hampden again if we can fit it in between all the European games. Because obviously we're going to be playing in that, and then that will run into next year. Well, as I say, I've booked my flights to the final already. So,
John, how important is the cup run for you for Hibs this season?
Aye, quite important actually. After the circumstances of last year, it was just a wee bit too. They were both a wee bit too short. I think we were all sort of looking for a bit more. But you can only play who's in front of you. I think maybe the game against Celtic in the League Cup came a little bit too soon. Like we were still a wee bit in disarray at that point. Would have been interesting to have seen that game played a bit later on, or even like later in the competition, just to see where we would have ended up. So, this year a good cup run in one or both of the competitions is going to be. Well, I mean, obviously, like what I was saying before about like humbly trying to win a trophy to get secure deity status, then you want to go as far as possible, ideally the final. But then that's luck of the draw, all that sort of stuff. Hopefully a trip to Hampden.
Ara in the chat, and I promise I've not paid Ara for this. But it says, Matty, where can we get your merch? Do some promotion. You can get it at redbubble.com and you just search Long Bangers and you'll get all there. If you want to see what we've got, check out our YouTube. There's a wee shorts with a wee video that plays with the various different t-shirts. Although it is lacking the 80295 one, John. I think you highlighted as well.
Just like a wee sort of Lacoste style motif, like a wee crocodile or something that says 80295.
I might redo the 80295 one as well. It comes up with like a sort of big white background on it. I didn't like it, so I thought I didn't want to promote it because I'm no sold on it. So I can do it again with a transparent background and it looks good in all the different colours. So
The Trainspotting one looks class.
the Trainspotting one's excellent, eh? I like the Indiana Jones one. And John, you picked out the Radiohead one as well, which I thought was smart. If anyone's a Radiohead fan, you should go and check it. It's like a good
Should we be saying all
crossover.
that stuff though? Because then, like, that's not who. Like, we can't.
Coincidental likenesses.
Aye, that's what I meant.
Aye, they're just coincidental. Anyway, right. I think we're about ready to wrap up then. We've a couple of minutes left to go. I was going to ask another question there. I can't remember what it was. Chris said he'd happily sacrifice the League Cup for a European run and Scottish Cup victory. I think everybody would be on board with that. And league season kicks off on Sunday. We're away to Dundee. Do you feel like it's come around quick, John, or are you about ready for it to be back?
Competitive football started, so I'm ready.
And Colin, how are you feeling for it? Premier League kicking off again?
Aye, all right. I like longer off.
Underwhelmed.
Is it next Sunday? A week today?
Aye, next Sunday. Picked up. I think if there's any tickets left, we picked up or bought our tickets through the week there, and there wasn't too many left. So I'd be fast if you want to go and get one. We'll see you there. Anyway, right. Thanks everybody for your comments on YouTube. For anybody who sent in talking points, I actually probably never picked up anything. They were mostly about Chantis, but I think we've done Chantis to death.
Because rumours came out with his wages, yeah.
Aye. It was Spot said Nectar not in the Sunderland squad yesterday. Their manager says small injury papers say we can't afford his wages.
Maybe both things should be true. I mean, because that's the. But the thing is, there's no way Hibs wouldn't have known through his agent that his wages were getting a bump if they got promoted to the Premier League.
I mean, I can't definitely, yeah.
So would have.
I think it's time to move on for Chantis. I don't think it's happening.
I think we're getting hung up on it, and we're now starting to talk around midfield that we've got down because he's not there.
It reminds me of Liam Henderson. Mind that summer where we were like, are we going to sign him? And there was all the rumours about us signing, and then he went to Italy, and that was that. I think it's got a feel of that about it. Anyway, right, we will wrap up there. Thanks again, folks, and we will see you all next